I was thinking about a name for this podcast and literally just came to me this fast. It was like you have to use the highest level. So, welcome to episode one of the highest level podcast where we talk about fitness, we talk about dating, we talk about relationships, we talk about spirituality. We really talk about everything, and I am the host and I'm going to be talking about my experiences, where I'm at in life right now, and the things that I'm doing moving forward. This is episode one. So, episode one is going to be like an introduction to kind of get to know me and kind of understand where this podcast is headed. For people that don't know me, my name is David, but people call me Big Dog Cho. The Cho, people are like, yo, are you Chinese? The Cho comes from my middle name. My middle name is Eikoa Cho, but people can't pronounce it because it's an African name, so I just shortened it down to Cho. And of course, there's a big dog that lives inside each and every one of us. And I'm like, yo, Big Dog Cho. That would be a nice name. So it has grown on me now. And ever since I've been in the workspace or in the corporate world when I used to work, everybody always called me Big Dog. Yo, Big Dog, yo, Big Dog, yo, Big Dog. So I'm just like, okay, I might as well just use that. So my name is David. But when I go out in the streets and I talk to people, everybody knows me as Big Dog. But without further ado, we're going to get into episode one. I'm going to kind of let you guys know how things have been going, kind of let you guys know where I'm at, and kind of let you guys know the plans moving forward. Like I said, I literally was thinking about having a podcast to be able to document my journey, to be able to document all the things that I've been going through, my mindset, where my head is at, the mental side of things, the physical side of things, the pressure, the insecurity, the doubts, the self-talk, all that stuff. Because I know someone is going to benefit from this, and I want to be able to look back when I'm out of the situations that I'm in and be like, yo, that was good. You know what I mean? I knew exactly how I felt in that moment when I was recording the video. I knew exactly how I felt in that moment when all this stuff was going through, with me. Life might be life in you right now, but it's not enough reason for you to throw in the red flag or throw in the white flag. I don't know what color of flag they call it these days, but throwing in the flag is not an option. And if you want to do something at the highest level, throwing in the flag is not even an option for you. You know what I mean? And being that this podcast is called The Highest Level, we're not throwing in the flag. We're not throwing in the towel. We're going to weather the storm and find a way to make it out and literally get ourselves to the highest level. What is the highest level about, you may ask? The highest level for me is doing everything within your power at a very high level. So it could be physically, it could be financially, it could be mentally, it could be spiritually, it could be emotionally. Everything that you do has to be done at a very high level, because the people that do it at the highest level or the high level, they are like the top 1%. You cannot find people that are doing something at a very high level and they haven't committed fully to that craft. They haven't committed fully to that goal of becoming the best or becoming the person that does that mission or that goal at the highest level. You know what I mean? Look at Tom Brady, for example. Look at LeBron James. Look at Kobe Bryant. Everybody that you know that has done something significant of severe magnitude, they did it at a very high level. Literally, they did it at the highest level. And I'm on my own personal development journey to doing stuff in my own personal life at the highest level. I might have conquered the physique, being in shape, lifting a lot of heavy weights, whatever the case may be. But sometimes you grow out of that. You get into situations or you get into moments where that is not your primary focus as it was when you were younger. I'm 29 now, and a lot of things have changed. The priorities have changed. It's no more like, oh, we still got to go do this, we still got to go do that. All the fun stuff, all the things that I used to do in my younger days, I don't have any cravings for them anymore. You know what I mean? I'm in the growth phase right now. And even though my circle is extremely, really small, because I'm trying to get myself into a position of where I can be with people that do it at the highest level, I got to do something for my own self at the highest level to be able to make room for me, to be able to move and talk to those people, network with those people that do things at the highest level. Stay with me here, guys. You're going to be hearing me talk about highest level, high level every time we have episodes on here, because that's literally what it's about. And I'm trying to let you guys understand that you watching this video, you should strive to do everything in your life at the highest level. Your physique should be at the highest level. Your finances should be at the highest level. Your relationship with your parents, your relationship with God, everything needs to be at the highest level. So I'll give you guys a quick background about me. My name is David. I literally just moved from Texas. I had been living in Dallas, Texas for a couple years. Been in the car industry. That was majorly what I did. Sold cars for a good amount of time, and I was very, very good at selling cars. Started in like 2020, 2021, like the peak of COVID. And slowly 2022, 2023, would dabble in, would get out for a little bit, do something else, dabble back in. The car business was always calling me back because the money was good. The hours were not. It was a lot of hours, 100% commission. You had to have the heart for the car business, or the heart for taking care of your customers, which in turn will make the money good. You know what I mean? And I've always known that, me personally, I'm called out for more. Like you guys might be watching too. You know it in your heart of heart that you're not here to be selling cars for the rest of your life. You're not here to be doing all this bare minimum stuff for the rest of your life. You have that gut feeling inside of you that is always letting you know that, yo, bro, you are destined for more. You can become more. You can do more than what you're doing right now. On my screensaver on my phone, I literally have a picture that just says do more. Because if you think you're doing more right now, you can always do a little bit more, And whenever I decided to, if you guys have been watching my YouTube for a while, you probably need to dig deep to kind of see how I made the move from Texas to Miami. But if this is your first video watching me, I'll just give you guys a little backstory. So about 7 months ago, not too long, 6-7 months ago, last year, I literally went on a 3-day fast to talk to God. And I'm like, God, things are not clicking the way it's supposed to click out here in Texas for me. I just felt like I'd reached a wall where there was no progress being made. I wasn't growing as much as I wanted to. Things were not happening at the way that I wanted it to happen. I just felt like, man, nothing seems to be working out here, And then I prayed and fasted, and God's like, yo, I know you've been wanting to go to Miami. I think it might be time for you to make that move to Miami, my son. And he gave me a scripture. He gave me confirmation, and I was like, okay, we're going to full send it. Full send it. You guys stay with me here. I full sent it from Texas and drove 18 plus hours from Texas, Dallas, Texas, all the way to Miami, Florida, with no apartment, with not enough money. All I had was faith, believe in God, and the will and the work ethic to be able to be like, you know what, we're going to a new city, we're coming to Miami. Miami is where they do things at the highest level, literally. And you'll be forced to step up to the plate and get things done at the highest level over here. When you surround yourself, that's why also your environment is important. When you have an environment of people that do things at a very high level, you have no choice but to start doing things at a very high level for you too as well. So with that, coming from here, made the drive. I was in the Airbnbs. I did like vlogs. If you guys go watch my vlog 1, you'll be able to see how I drove, how I was living, trying to still get into sales when I came here into the car business. But the demographic here is a lot different than what it was in Texas. I'm like, okay, God, what are you saying? I will get into the gym, started training people, working out, doing some online training, doing some in-person training, getting a little bit of groove, getting a little bit of motion. And then the job, out of the blues, they just popped me. Everything was going well, everything was going good, but they're like, yo, you're not meeting the quota of the people you're supposed to be training. Even though I only started training for a couple months, and I had been doing like front desk work, I'd been doing like a bunch of other stuff for the gym, but they're like, yo, you're not training as much clients as you should be. And they're like, because of that, we're going to let you go. And I'm like, you guys gave me a deadline. You didn't even wait for the deadline to reach or to get there. You just popped me out of the blues. And as soon as they popped me out of the blues, when I thought that I was going up like this, I was trying to ride that wave of momentum, just going. Even though I was going through it, guys, I was literally going through it and still finding a way to still show up, be there early, be there for the people, be a source of motivation, have that good energy, just be there for the people, because it was not about me. Coming to Miami, God already told me, you're coming here on mission. And I was ready to make do with however it was. People that go on mission, if you've ever gone for a mission trip before, it's not comfortable. I knew coming out here to Miami was not going to be comfortable for me initially. There were nights where I was sleeping in my car. There were nights where I was homeless. I was homeless. I didn't have a roof over my head. The earlier months when I came in, because I had run out of money. Run out of money in the Airbnb I was staying in, the hotel that I was staying. My friends, the only friend I really knew here. One day I'm gonna get him on the podcast so we can even talk about stuff like that. But the one friend that I really knew, he was there for me, encouraging me. I met one of my other guys that me and him were brothers now. We're really cool. Told me that, yo, bro, just get in the gym, whatever the case may be. So did the whole gym stuff, and then slowly went down the drain. But I had made some good connections with some people, and God also made a way for me to be able to get a roof over my head, so I wasn't homeless anymore. And I'm just like, okay, God, this is your will. Whatever obstacle is thrown my way, I just have to find a way to control what it is that I can control and keep pushing. Me having a resilient spirit, I think, is the biggest thing that I have that has kept me going till now. Just finding a way. You know how you can fight someone, break his arm, break his left hand, break his right hand, break his back, throw him this obstacle, throw him that obstacle, but he still finds a way, finds another day. All the bad stuff could have happened, but the next day I took it as a brand new day. I will be in the best smiles. Nobody even know this guy probably hasn't eaten for a day. Nobody even know this guy only ate one meal a day. Nobody even know anything that I was going through. Only the real ones knew, But I was just like, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of all the situations, I'm here on mission. God has my backing. I just have to execute. I just have to show up. I cannot tap out on the work that needs to be done. So after all that, trying to get into the job space, trying to make some money, trying to do this, trying to do that, just hustling, grinding. But deep down in my heart of heart, I knew that I want to do social media. I knew I wanted to do content creation. I knew that I had a personality that was very good. I wanted to talk to people online. I wanted to use my story to motivate people. I wanted to use my energy to get people out of bed, to get people in a better space, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever the case may be. Because we are offerings, and God placed all of us really on this earth for a mission. And once you find that mission, your feelings have to get out the way, and just know that, okay, I'm an offering to the people. I must be equipped. I must be ready for the people. Even though life may have lied to you 3 days in a row, 5 days in a row, back to back, I still had it in the back of my mind that, yo, bro, for the people, for that person that doesn't even know how he's going to take his next step, for that lady that's coming to the gym after having a bad day. Be the person that is smiling, be the person that is energetic, be the person that is there for them. That's literally all I wanted to do. So getting out of the gym space, I tried to get into another gym to work and stuff like that. Wasn't going out well for me, but I was like, okay, if all this is not going out well for me, the time that I have on my hands, I'm going to use it to focus on me. I'm going to use it to focus on making content, doing content creation and stuff like that. So fast forward from all that happening till now. Today I was sitting down here earlier working on my laptop, trying to figure out how I can get into the online space of like drop shipping, e-com. I've always wanted to have my own personal brand of like a t-shirt line, like a hat line too as well, which I was been working on, trying to launch, trying to put stuff together, trying to get it out there, just taking action on all the things that I want to do, because I know that the money that I want to make, the things that I want to do, the level that I want to reach, a 9 to 5 is not going to do that for me. Going in to go clock in for a job, going in to go do this is not going to do that for me. And if I have this ample time on my hands to be able to do something, I have to invest it into me. So literally as I was sitting down there, I'm like, bro, I'm just going to start a podcast, a high level podcast, and document my journey, talk about stuff that has worked for me, talk about stuff that I'm really going through, and literally telling you guys the truth. So when I look back on this, however much it takes, I'm able to see that, yeah, bro, you didn't quit. You didn't quit on yourself. You didn't tap out. You didn't throw in the red flag. You kept going. Even when things were hard, even when you didn't feel like showing up, even when you didn't have it in you to make a video, even when you didn't have it in you to do anything that you're doing right now, you still showed up. You still found a way to be there, to be a source of motivation, a source of blessing to someone else's life is the least that I can do. So we are here now. This is episode 1, and literally just talking about the fact that I'm not where I want to be yet, but I know that I'm going to be there soon. And this episode 1 is just a documentation to literally let you guys know how it is for me and where I'm headed. I know my future is bright. I know what God has called me on this earth to do. I know who I am. I know the talents that I have. I know what God has blessed me with. I know. But people talk about Miami, come to Miami, your life will change, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. Fine, yes, your life can change here, but you have to put that work in. You also have to surround yourself with people that are doing it at a very high level too. But the thing about it that people don't talk about often is that the people that are doing it at a high level, you have to have some motion to be able to be in rooms or to be able to have conversations with these guys that do it at a very high level. And me, where I'm at the stage in my life where I no longer have friends that I used to talk to, or I've outgrown the friends that I used to keep or talk to. And I'm in that lonely phase right now where I'm trying to build myself up, trying to get some motion, trying to grow so that I can have motion, or I can have enough, or I can have resources to be able to be like, okay, I'm valuable enough to be in rooms with these guys that do it at a high level. I'm valuable enough to provide value to these guys that do it at a very high level. I looked at my life, I did a full audit. I'm like, okay, what do you have that you can provide these guys that do things at the highest level that they don't already have? Is it the fitness? Most of them are in shape. Everyone here in Miami is in tip-top shape. They're jacked. Even though they're not in shape, there's only so much you can do with the fitness thing. You know what I mean? So your goal, your dreams for yourself has to be much more larger than that. So being in this lonely phase, being in this lonely stage, I'm like, okay, this is a stage for us to build. This is a stage for us to document the journey, document the process. Not like when we become who we want to be at the highest level, people are like, oh, this guy just came out of the blues. This guy just did that. This guy just, no, brother. We've been doing this for a minute. And if you look back at the track records, it's all there for you to be able to see. You know what I mean? So we out here with it, guys. Not where I want to be mentally, know where I want to be physically, know where I want to be financially, know where I want to be spiritually, know where I want to be in all areas of life, literally right now, And whenever I think about it as a stage of preparation, having the perspective to know that, okay, the things that you're going through right now, why are you going through them? Because you already said it yourself that your mission is greater. The vision that you have, the talents that you have is greater, and you're going to be tested, And then I liken myself to David in the Bible when he was tested, when he was going through the battle phases of his life to become king of Israel. I already tell everybody every day that I'm destined for more. My name is not David for no reason. You know what I mean? And all the people that have names David, they've gone through something significant in their life for them to come out on the other side successful. You look at David in the Bible, you look at David Beckham, you look at David Goggins, you look at all these people and you associate yourself and be like, these people have similar traits or similar stories or similar patterns to me, And if you are able to take one or two things from there, you're able to know that, okay, you're on your own preparation stage right now. God is trying to build you into the man that he knows that, my son David, he's battle ready. He's battle tested. He's capable of everything that you throw at him. Why? Because he's been tested. He's been tested. There are things that I can't even speak about or talk about just yet. But every day I've been tested. And God is still testing me up until now. You know what I mean? So I know that even though I'm not where I want to be, it's all part of the process. Trusting the process is very, very important. A lot of people don't trust the process. I've learned to trust the process, regardless of what it is that is in front of me, regardless of the situations or circumstances. Look at Job in the Bible. Job in the Bible would have thrown in the white flag, the red flag, and given up and cursed God. God was boasting, oh, my son Job, that is a stud. That is the biggest. That is the dog right there. My son Job, go and try him. He will never say anything bad about me. And then the devil went to go check Job. It's like, yo, let me take all that money from your ass. Yo, let me take your wife. Let me take your kids. Let me take your money. Let me take your cattle, your houses, your whatever. Took everything from the man. Gave him sickness too. Like, okay, a little bit of sickness on your ass. And he still was faithful. he still was still in the suffering. He still was in the suck. He still did not betray God. He still was still blessing and thanking God, and God was like, that is my man right there. You can see what I'm telling you. That man is tested and he's ready for more blessings that God gave him. So you might be watching this video on the other side and thinking to yourself, why am I going through all this? Perspective comes into play, because you can't ask yourself why you're going through all this. God is trying to test you, and if you don't pass all the tests that he's throwing your way, or the obstacles that he's throwing your way, you're not going to be fit for more. You're not going to be able to have the capacity to be able to handle more that he's going to give you. You know what I mean? So understanding that and knowing that, okay, everything in my life right now is a test, and I just have to be strong enough to pass the test to get me to the next stage. It's like going to the military or going through an audition, whatever the case may be. There are different stages of test. I've started my test phase long time ago, and now I'm just getting to different levels, seeing there's a new level of test every day. And you're like, oh God, how am I going to be equipped for this test that you're testing me right now? Guys, there are days I haven't eaten in the whole day. In a whole day, I was going through it that bad. I didn't have no money, didn't have nothing coming from anywhere. I didn't eat a whole day, like literally. Even the next day that came, I literally didn't eat till like 5 o'clock. Not because I was hungry, not because I was fasting, but because I was broke, And I'm like, oh, bro, all this is gonna pass. All this is all test phases. How long can you withhold yourself? How long can you stay in the fight? How long can you stay in the grind? And still be pushing through and still say, oh God, regardless of the battles that I'm battling right now, regardless of the life that is lifing me right now, I'm still going to show up for you. I'm still going to show up for your people. And I'm not even going to lie to you guys. This phase of my life has gotten me a lot more closer to God. God is always there in your time of need, but a lot of us forget about God when things are going well. We only run to God when things are not going well, but this has really deepened my relationship with him, because I'm like going through all this stuff and I'm like, who else am I going to run to? Everybody has their own problems going on. You run to the man that made you. You run to God and be like, yo, God, help me. I need your help right now. It's like the same way Jesus was about to be crucified and I was like, could this cup pass over me? I'm like, God, could this suffering pass over me? If it can't pass over me, that's fine. I just need capacity to be able to stay in the fight. I just need capacity to be able to stay in the suck, to be able to stay in the suffering. You know what I mean? So don't tap out on the suffering that you're in right now. Don't tap out on the situations that are not going your way right now, because it could only just be a test to getting you to where you want to be, for God to see that, does this guy really want this shit that he's telling me that he wants? Does he really want the lifestyle? Does he really want the notoriety? Does he really want the money? Does he really want all this stuff? Does he? And you're telling God, yes, God, I want it. Yes, God, I want it. Okay, take him through the test. This ain't no military test. This ain't no Delta 8 sniper test, Ranger School test. No, this is test from the Almighty. And best believe it's going to be the craziest test you've ever gone through. You know what I mean? But on the other side of it, on the other side of all the pain, on the other side of all the suffering, on the other side of all the suck, is the success, is the result, is the growth, is the character development, is everything that you've ever wanted. So me going through my own test phase right now, me going through it, life in me deep in the trenches, grinding, I know is all part of the process. Without a doubt, I know it's all part of the process. I cannot suffer this much and not have something tangible to come out of after all the suffering. It's a process. You got to go through it. You got to go through it. And going through it is how you grow through it. You know what I mean? You're not going to grow from the situation that you're in if you're not willing to go through it. The gold, I've got a rose gold Casio on here. Got a gold rose chain on here. This chain didn't just become a chain like that. It had to go through a process to be able to grow out of that process and become well refined like this. God is refining you right now. God is preparing you right now, and He's asking you, my son, my daughter, can you go through this so you can grow through this? You know what I mean? I hope you guys are understanding my analogies and stuff that I'm putting in there for you, but you literally have to grow through it so that you can grow through it. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Everything at the end of the day comes down to your threshold. Having the threshold to be resilient, having the threshold to stick it through, that's the only thing that is going to make a difference. Because a lot of people would have tapped out on the work. A lot of people would have gone back to their 9 to 5. A lot of people would have driven back to Texas. I was talking to one of my homeboys, like, bro, are you sure you're not going to drive back to Texas and go figure shit out? At least you can stay with your brother. Your brother's in Texas. Your cousin is in Texas. It's familiar territory. You don't grow in the places that you're comfortable. You don't grow in the places that they're familiar. A lot of people don't want to leave their hometown because they're so comfortable where they're at. You only grow when you step out of your comfort zone and step into the unknown, step into the risks, step into the places that are not comfortable at all. There's nothing comfortable about my life right now. You know what I mean? But I know that it's preparing me for something. I know I'm called for more, and I just need to have capacity to be able to handle the more that is coming my way. So yeah, this is episode 1 of the Highest Level podcast. This is gonna be great. I literally see it. It's gonna be great. I'm committed. You guys know me at the highest level on all the things that I'm setting out for myself, which is 1, growing this podcast, documenting the journey, being here every day, showing up for you guys, and having things to talk about, letting you guys know a little bit more about me. And I'll have people here occasionally that we can just sit and chop it up and just have deep conversations about things that we're going through, real stuff. This is real shit, happening in 3D or happening in 4D, literally happening right now, So yeah, we'll be able to grow from it, understand, put knowledge off of each other, rub heads together, be able to get into someone else's head, understand where they're coming from, see their point of view, talk about stuff, deep stuff that nobody wants to talk about. We'll be able to talk about it on the Highest Level podcast. I'm on a mission, guys. I'm on a mission. I know where God is taking me, and everything that I do is for His glory. Everything literally that I do is for His glory. And if one person watching this video would get their relationship with God closer, if one person watching this video would understand that the situations sent to them, the predicaments that you're in right now is not going to be forever, and you just have to strengthen your relationship with God, strengthen your capacity to handle more, your life will become better, and that's all I want to be, a vessel, a servant, to be able to help people. Going through what I'm going through, all I can offer is help. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to make it out of my own valley that I'm in, but making it out of the valley, I need to be able to let you guys know, okay, guys, this is me making it out of the valley, but this is some things that I understood being in the valley. This is some things that I was able to understand when this happened. You know what I mean? So this is going to be on. We're going to be here. I'm going to be posting 3 times a week. Well, 4 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. You guys are going to be getting videos from me. We'll talk about different stuff. I already have everything planned out. I'm going to have people on here as well, as much people I can get. There'll be different sceneries. It doesn't have to be in here, me talking. I could be outside. I could be wherever, but the message is going to remain the same. We're going to be talking about fitness, mindset, training, dating, relationships, everything really. Anything that I can. I'm a good talker. I'm a good yapper, people always say. But anything I can really converse and have a deep conversation with someone, it doesn't matter who, they're going to be on here and we're going to have a conversation. But yeah, guys, if you made it through to the end of this podcast, I really want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you've been watching my journey for a long time now, I appreciate you so much. And you know where we're going. We're going for the highest level as always. Everything that I want to do in my life, I want to do it at the highest level. And I know that all this things that I'm going through right now is all part of the process to get there. So I welcome it with open arms. And I know that God is making a way for me where there seems to be no way. Psalm 23 is making a way for you where there seems to be no way. You just have to trust Him. You just have to believe that it's possible for you. I know it's possible for me. Is it possible for you? You know what I mean? So yes, guys, that's going to do it for today's podcast episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for watching. Like always, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.